I would love to invite our second speaker, Aleem Visram, up to the stage. He has traveled to 35 countries, lived in 4, and worked in 3. He has broken his tibia-fibia twice, which seems like a bad bone to break twice, and in the same sport, and was kicked out of a boys' choir when he reached puberty, which actually I don't think is so bad. So I welcome you to the stage, Aleem.
Thank you. So before I start, I think we need to give Rena a huge round of applause. I gotta be honest, to come up in front of an audience and talk about 1 fuck-up is a lot, but to talk about 3, my kudos to you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me and how I got to the role that I'm going to tell you about. So my niche in marketing was all about new product launches. So I started off as an intern at Pfizer, launched Dentyne Ice, then went to Kraft, did the launch of Tassimo, then went to Novartis, worked on Buckley's, Otrivin, Neocitrin. So that was my realm. And for 10 years, I had done it really, really well. So one day, I get a phone call from a headhunter that says, hey, we have a great job for you to launch a product called Tetley Infusions. Have you heard of that? Yes? No? Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is cool. If there's money in it, I'm down. So when you think of Tetley, the last real innovation they've had was Tetley tea back in the 1930s. And when you do consumer research, you ask people, what do they think of Tetley? This is what comes back. The old English woman and the weird Tetley guy from the 1980s, right? So they had $5 million to spend. So when you have $5 million to spend, you do a lot of stuff. Started off with TV, so we did 4 months of TV on prime time in the summer. We were in 12 major magazine publications. Again, this is back in 2010 when social media wasn't quite where it's at now. We had a celebrity chef on breakfast television talking about how great the product was. We went to Good Life Gyms, had a partnership with them across Ontario, over 200,000 samples, and these decals on all the workout machines, so you're sitting there trying to burn calories and all you see is Tetley Infusions. We did in-store demos, so over 1 million samples at stores across the country and at major events like in Toronto, the Taste of Danforth and Taste of Little Italy. Lots of merchandising displays, shelf decals, cross promotions, and coupons. So we did basically everything in the marketing spectrum. Now the big problem is on new product launches, you don't really get a lot of play from this stuff unless you generate buzz. And to generate buzz, you gotta kind of push the limit a little bit to be a little bit different. So we came up with this TV ad, and it's 30 seconds. I'm gonna play it for you. I think some of you will get it, some of you may not, so just pay attention. Let's see if we can get it. I think I actually have to hit.
Just go to the next slide.
Oh, right. You told me that. Sorry.
I started using powders when I was 18.
I was young. I even started using them at work.
But not anymore.
I'm done with powders.
Break the habit of artificially sweetened powders. Tetley Infusions is made from real brewed tea with no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors. Tetley Infusions. For water, for you.
Thought it was pretty cheeky. Kind of pushed the limit, thought we'd get a little bit of attention. People pay attention to it because it's a really weird setting. And the president loved it. The problem was we only had 2 months to put this together. And normally with Advertising Standards Council, when you need a TV ad approved, they need the 6-month window. So we had bought all of the airtime on all the major stations for 4 months, $1 million in TV, and we're like, we're not gonna go through this Advertising Standards Council because it won't go on the air. And unfortunately, we were the 2nd company ever to be pulled off the air in our first week. And the sad part about that is it's $1 million down the drain. So that wasn't the only thing, unfortunately. So the big challenge with this product is that we're saying that it's good for you. And the biggest challenge with the product launch is there has to be a product market fit. If the consumer does not find value in your product, it doesn't matter how great your marketing is, it'll never sell. So people who are drinking Crystal Light, which is our biggest competitor that we tried to associate with cocaine, in case you didn't get it, they didn't want to pay $4 for a box. And they didn't see a problem with what they're currently drinking. And more importantly, they didn't believe any of the health stuff. If you look at the side of a box and you look at, like, instead of sugar, it's natural sugar, but cane sugar is still sugar. It's still not good for you. And consumers are very smart. They figured it out real quick. So we put over $1 million just to get on the shelf. We were off the shelf at all major grocery stores within a year because nobody bought it. So it's important to take risks because you understand where the limit is. And you know when you can cross it or where is the limit. But the challenge is if you work in an organization that is very conformist and very conservative, like Tetley, and you push the boundaries, you don't last very long. So understanding a company culture and the tolerance for risk is probably the most important thing. So what happened? This was actually the last new product launch that I worked on. I worked on their global innovation team, so I didn't get sacked right away. But shortly thereafter, I ended up without a job. And it was actually the best thing that happened to me. So kind of similar to what Rena said, it gave me an opportunity to pursue what I was really interested in. So for 10 years, I'd worked in marketing and done this for all these companies, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't passionate about it. I lost that fire. I couldn't get out of bed in the morning wanting to do this. And so that little push to get laid off this job helped me find what I really wanted to do. So I actually went out and applied to be a teacher, and now I teach about my failures and my successes as a marketing prof at the Schulich School of Business, which is how me and Marcia know each other. And I can't tell you, like, I love my class. I love teaching. It gives me a great deal of satisfaction. Wow, my voice is quivering. It's amazing. And it also let me pursue my own interests. So now I run a business. It's not a startup business, but it's a little bit similar in financial planning. And I was always interested in doing something different, and I'm doing it now. And so my kind of end goal to you, and I think this is kind of what Rena said, you got to follow your dream. Money and success will come if you do what you want to do. Thank you.